Hi. Hello. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday. It's not Saturday anymore. It's Sunday. Who's all here? Serenity? You're here? Thank you so much for the sub. Oh, Serenity. 45 months? Holy shit. That's a long time. That is a long time. Dang. I think you've been here basically the longest. Let's be honest. Okay, so I only have 2 hours. These Sunday streams now are going to be a little bit funky just because Gabe's got that new job, so I have to be very precise when I end. Since he goes to work basically like a couple minutes after I stop. So, I'm looking for a template, and I think I have it. I don't know if I actually have it. Ooh. No. Yeah. All the templates. Was this 4x6? That must be a 4x6. Has to be. What else would it be? Yeah, that's a 4x6. Yeah, it's gotta be. We'll use that. Alright. Sort of. How's everybody doing? First time in ages I can make it to the stream. Is it because it's on a Sunday? Because I think you work Saturdays, don't you? Or something like that? If I remember right. Forgive my memory. But yeah, so we had to switch it because Gabe works now 2 to 10 on Saturdays, and today he works 5 to 10, something like
Always
that.
fun to see you and hang out.
Oh, Cavendish. Thank you. I love you, Cavendish. I hope you're well. It's fun to see you too. And hang out, of course. Oh, good, Serenity. Are you usually done earlier on Sundays? Or, like, is this just a fluke thing, I guess? Oh my god. Ugh. I probably look a little bad. I didn't even get to... Here, hold on. Maybe I can help myself out here, but because I look rough. This lighting isn't doing me any favors. No. No. Whatever. This is my face. No? Oh, alright. Oh, before I get rid of this. This is this month's Clover card. So it comes with a story on back. It's a little print. It's the size of a trading card. So you can put them in a binder, like a 9-slot baseball card Magic the Gathering binder. And I do these every month, and they always have a story on the back. So that's this month's. You have till the end of May to get it. Otherwise, it's gone forever. You can't get them after May. They're exclusive! You're lucky today since it's warmer now. People are staying outside and not inside, so it's less work. Oh, that's good. I'm happy that's less work for you. That's really nice. We got lucky. It's been kind of beautiful lately outside. Like right now, I think it's like 60 something out. Oh, it's gorgeous. Hold on, I gotta do my sharpener. Okay, I also fixed the Stream Boss thing here. This was like super bugged for the longest time on somebody named Kevin, who I think hasn't been here in probably years, and I just haven't fixed it because it looked like it was bugged out. So now it should work, and it is working because we had 2 resubs here, which counted towards killing me. So this works by donations, follows, subs, bits. Every one of those counts towards killing me and taking my place. So your name would get replaced there with Cloverkin, or Cloverkin would get replaced with your username if you're the one to give me the last final blow, so to speak. So that's the deal with that, and I should really message that a little bit better on screen. So I should do that next time. Funny story. Y'all know how I've been trying to do my emotes for like, I don't know, 6 years. Which I think I'll start doing those soon. Because really, like during a stream. Because I really should do that. A friend of mine commissioned me to make hers. So I made 7 of her emotes in a week, where I can't even make my own in 6 years. How about that? Man, that's just how stuff goes. Alright, I know kind of what I want to do today, and since I only have 2 hours, we're just gonna bang it out. But I still need your help. So give me a bunch of different animals. Ideally, something not too big. Maybe something around the size of grizzly bear or smaller. And then I'm gonna give it an instrument because I really have a craving to draw an instrument. And I want it to be super obscure. Like I want a really weird instrument. So I'm gonna look up the instrument. You tell me animals. Work just devoured you. Oh my god. I understand, Serenity. Gabe and I are in a similar dilemma. So Gabe had to get a job. He's a cart corral guy right now, which is like, no disrespect to the job, but I mean, he's a college graduate with a bachelor's of science in animation, so it sucks when you have to take any job you can get at the moment, you know, because you just need money. So that's where we're at right now. So we're hurting enough where he had to get a job. So, like a job. Where he's still doing work for big comic companies. It's just, it's not all coming in when you need it, you know? Because what's weird is a lot of them are on like 45-day cycles. So that's like a month and a half, sometimes even 2 months between doing the work and getting paid. So between then, work is really, really dry. And he's got tons of other jobs he's working on, but it's just not happening enough, you know? And same with me. Like, I've technically got a part-time job with Patreon, but I'm also trying to finish those portraits. Once I finish the portraits, then I can get another one. So we're in a whatever. Beth is watching. I got the art she sent. Oh, Beth Wagner! Yeah, I don't know if she's here either. Usually she announces when she is. Meerkat, goose, cat. Oh, I'm into the goose. Sheldron, is that you or is that Kristen? Unstable income, so I need to make extra money wherever I can. Yep. Right? Okay. Cool. Quills are cute. There is this one instrument that I put in my coloring book for nature notes. And I kind of want to do another version of it. I'm trying to remember what it was called though. No, it's not that. Let's try. God, I'm not gonna remember this. Started with an R. I thought it ended in an R, but maybe I'm wrong. Ektara? Was that it? Maybe that was it. My mouse character is playing it in the... Yeah, maybe it is the Ektara. It'll do. I'll make this work. It's basically what I wanted, but alright. It's Kristen. Okay. That's what I thought. Swan. Swan's nice. I'm digging the birds. The fat birds even. The goose and the swan. Maybe let's do... Let me look at goose pictures real quick. That's tough because I kind of like... Oh god, that really scary picture of a goose just came up. The one with all the teeth. Oh, that one freaks me out every time. I do like the feathers on the Canadian goose, but I don't know. I do like the white on a swan. Oh, loons were my state bird. They look psychotic though. They have really pretty calls. We heard loons all the time in Minnesota. All the time. They were everywhere. It's really strange. Let's do the swan, because I kind of like that their face is almost masked. You know? I like that. I like it. Alright. So we're going to do an Ektara. And it's going to be a swan. That sounds good. Yeah, do it up, Serenity. Alright, so when I'm drawing birds like geese or swans or things like that, it's really just two spheres and a cylinder. You gotta break it down, and that's all that bird is. So I'm gonna do little thumbnails over here about how I want the wings placed, because the wings are more important here. And if I want the head to be a certain way. Because what's nice is this instrument really echoes the shape of a swan, which is another reason I was digging the swan goose idea. So you'll see up here I'm kind of figuring out which of these I want to do. And I love using feathers as fingers. And typically I'll give my animals like 4 fingers. Just because, you know, unless I'm drawing like an accurate human, even if it's a cartoon human, I'll give it 4 fingers because I just think 5 is excessive. So I usually only do like this because really they only need this much and this really unnecessary. So really it's like I get rid of, I guess, the pointer because the pointer's a lot like a secondary ring. But anyway, do I want it sideways or straight on? Because I like the profile of the swan's head, but I also... Oh, there's another instrument I found recently that's super cool, but I don't want to ruin it for my curious collectors. But it's gonna be this month's Guardians thing. Like, I want them to have it, so... This month's Guardian is a little bit different than previous Guardians. It's not as... It's cute, but it's not as, it's hard to say. It's cute, but it's like an old man, basically. But it's a cute old man. The other thing is I have to figure out where to put the body of the goose, because the body of the goose, or sorry, the swan, is very much echoing the shape of the instrument, right? So I can't put them too close together. But I think I'll have the swan's feet clutching the body of the instrument. So if this is the instrument, and it's cool because it has one giant pin on it for this one string. I love that it just has one string. Like, to me that's just... I love that simplicity. Alright, and then for the feathers, okay, I think I like almost there. Oh, this is one of those pencils that has terrible erasers on the tip. Okay, that's gonna be one of them. The other one, I want it to be going like that, so it's got two feathers up, and 2 curled under. I don't really like that though. I guess maybe I just need one. I'll do one feather finger. How was everybody's week? Sorry, I'm trying to get this going so I've got something to do this whole time because I'm rushed, so Gabe can leave on time. But how was everybody's week? I had a pretty good week for, a change. like, I got put on some meds for that problem I told you guys I had, and since I have PCOS or whatever, they put me on some meds for that, and it's supposed to help with insulin and like weight gain, and because I gained like 60 pounds in a couple months, and that's not okay. Obviously something's wrong. Also, this is a mosquito bite. I'm sorry. It's probably gross. I'm human, but it's gross. I know. But I gained like 60 pounds in like 6 months, and they put me on this one medication that's supposed to help with insulin, which is a problem with PCOS people. And it's been a week, and I've already lost 2 pounds. I haven't lost any weight, not even like a pound, in 3 years because of this. So the fact that I just lost 2 pounds is seriously hopeful, and I am so happy about it. Like, I know it's just tiny, but that means it could be ramping up, because I mean, that's a week, right? That is just 1 week. So I am super hopeful, because every day, every single day, no matter what, I am lifting weights, I'm doing cardio of some kind. But yeah, I weight lift, I do squats, I do deadlifts, I do bench presses. We've got a whole thing downstairs, and like, I've been making really good progress with that, and for the longest time I wasn't losing weight, right? And I eat very, very healthy, which is, it's so silly I wasn't losing any weight, because I've been huge for a while. Huge for me, okay? My frame, all that. So this is a big deal for me. I'm very excited. So if I just keep doing what I've always been doing now while I'm on this stuff, I think it's gonna really help me. So I'm very hopeful. There are some bad side effects, but I'm dealing with it. Like, if I take the full dose, I get this wicked, really bad scalp itching. It is horrendous. But if I just take 1 instead of 2 a day, I don't get it. So I've just been taking the 1 instead of both, because otherwise it's unbearable. Yes, Cavendish. I saw you did Clark, right? It was Clark? Or no, it was Nick. Wasn't it? It was the gray cat. The gray cat's Nick, isn't it? Sorry, I think I was thinking of something else for Clark. It was Nick. Yeah. You did a great job. It was Clark. Okay. Yeah, like I remember your cats. The great big fatty. Yeah, he's beautiful. No, you did a great job. All right, I'm going to do this one, this hand, and I'm going to do this hand. And then I think I'm going to do this for the feet. And then I really like this look for the head here. So let's go for it. No, I think you did a really good job for not being somebody that paints pets all the time. You did a great job. Like, even for somebody who does paint pets all the time, you did a great job. Please say it helps your energy. I think it did, but my energy is a little bit hard to tell lately. But it probably does, and I just haven't noticed. I have been doing a lot more. Oh no, why did my camera bug out? Did it just shut off? Hold on. Let me restart my camera here. I'm pretty sure it did. There we go. Better? Yeah. So, yeah, it's the metformin, it's called. But be careful, because it at least it's cheap. It's actually meant for diabetics, but they give it to people with PCOS because we have similar insulin issues. So, yeah, if you can get it, Kristen, yeah, she had me start on 2 a day, like I said right away, and like within 3 days, I started with this horrendous itching on my scalp, and it was just my scalp. And it's got, you know, side effects that can affect people in different ways, so you'll want to be, I guess, vigilant about that, because it might affect you differently, and just know that it could be that. I had also upped my B12 intake because the PCOS thing like totally diminishes your B12, and that's, I think, more of what affected my energy. So, Kristen, I would actually say to get some B12 gummies. There are some that Gabe got me that are like 3,000 milligrams a gummy, and there's 2, you take 2 a day, and that is for sure helped with my energy and mood. So the PCOS, I think, is totally just wiping out the B12 intake, because it like makes it so your body doesn't absorb it as well. So maybe try that even before you start the metformin. But yeah, as somebody who's not used to having any sort of chronic illness or anything, which I'm not used to this sort of thing at all. It's really nice to have some hope that I can get back to where I was before all of this kind of started. There's no cure, but there is a way to help it. So that's good. Yeah, get some B12 gummies. They're good. Because they are meant for mood and such. So if your main problem is mood, I think that would help you. Granted, I am not a doctor, but those 2 things seem to really help me out. And not to be too graphic, but the metformin really regulated my period too. So, you know, that's another thing with PCOS people. So sorry if somebody didn't want to hear that, but it's true. It really helped with that. Like, I hadn't gotten one for years, and then all of a sudden I started taking this, and it just, there it is. Because insulin has to do with your hormones are out of balance with PCOS, and if you're taking the metformin, it helps regulate all that, so then your hormones are back in swing. So that helps with period and all that. So if anybody else is going through like irregular periods, you can't lose weight, you eat right, and you exercise and nothing's working, go to your doctor, because you might have PCOS. And there are ways to kind of help it. So that's the only reason I ever really mention this stuff, is in case somebody else is going through something similar. Because otherwise I wouldn't have known. I did a ton of research to find out all this crap. The artist in charge? Who's the artist in charge of the painting? It's asking me about the art I've been doing. Yeah, make sure your doctor actually listens to you. That's another thing. So I think the other thing is to make sure you're going to a women's care doctor and not just a general doctor, because I noticed there's a difference there. You talk to a woman's doctor, they seem to know a little bit more about, you know, that it could be PCOS versus just something else, you know, from a general doctor. So because I went to a women's clinic basically right away. Anyway, don't worry, my stream's not normally about this. This is just something I thought that might help somebody if I mentioned it. So, back to the art. Maybe you should paint traditional more often than Cavendish. You seem like a natural. like your, how do you say, your, how you handle the paints, you know, is very advanced, I'd say. So it's good you've been practicing digital, but maybe your calling is traditional, you know? Who knows? Kind of creepy. This does look like one giant hand, but does this swan wings? Oh, that's cute. Yeah, if I had friends that were around me out here, I would probably do something like that, but man, asking people to come out here or going out to where they are, I'm like 2 hours away from anything. Anyone we know, really. Up what this thing looks like again. Oh, it doesn't even have a ball at the top. It just has a pick. Oh, that's nice. Welcome back, Serenity. That's interesting. See, I wouldn't even know how to tell somebody that brief overview, because I feel like it's hard to tell people who aren't, I guess, used to painting a brief overview of how to paint. Like, I'd be interested in how he summarizes that. That seems difficult. I need a swan profile shot. No. That's not a swan, that's a ghost. Lies. Oh no. Oh, poor guy. Oh, okay. That's actually really smart. Breaking it down by the brush to use, that's really smart actually. I would have never thought of that. But he's totally right. Do you use acrylic? Is he making you use acrylic for that? Hold on, I'm totally winging this and I shouldn't. Winging it. Boo. Bird puns, boo. There's a better one. So as much as I want to draw this little part here that would be there, it's like this part of the hand, you know, from your pinky. I want to draw that there, but the second I do, it makes it look too human to where it's creepy. Like it looks like a giant hand. So I'm not gonna do that. Like I had done that, and that was the part that was making it look really creepy. If you want to know what I mean, here, look at this. See how it's not there right now? It doesn't look so creepy. If I draw that in, now it's creepy because it's a big hand. So don't put that in, I guess. If I want to, I could probably just have it come down, but I can't make it too human or else that's when it gets weird. And it's crazy because when you're doing things like this and you're kind of adapting human anatomy to animal, there are things like that that get in this weird area where it's like, if I put that there, that's going to look too human, and then that's going to be creepy instead of cute. So through a lot of trial and error, I figured out which parts that is, and that's one of them. And sometimes I do it without thinking, and it's just strange.
Hello, hello.
Hi, EB. How you doing? How was your week? Thank you for the sub. Oh, did my HP go down? I think it did. So every time somebody subs, gives bits, donations, follows, my HP goes down right here on the UI, and if it eventually gets to 0, whoever deals the final blow, their name gets there and they're the next stream boss. Acrylics, okay, good. Because acrylics are pretty good for that sort of thing. If you know, something could be gone over a few times, I guess. Like if people who are starting painting, like giving them paintings or paints that allow for them to go over an area multiple times, acrylic would be the best, I think, for that. So I'm glad he did that. That's smart. I kind of want to give him a big hood. So we are drawing a swan right now, playing an instrument. I just realized last stream we did a flamingo, so I guess we're on this bird kick. Unintentionally. Checks on everybody. Someone's really struggling. He'll sit down and take over doing hard parts. Oh, God, that's sweet. He sounds like a really nice guy. That's wonderful. What a good teacher. What is his, I don't want to say actual job, but what does he do normally? Is he like a freelance artist, or... I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, fuck. I have this bad habit of swearing every time I sneeze. So sorry. I'm probably gonna swear a lot. I don't know why I'm sneezing so bad today. I have seasonal allergies, so that might have to do with it. And like 4 of our neighbors were mowing their lawns, so that probably plays into it too. So apologies for the sniffling and such. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thunderstorms and rain. Oh yeah, I want to see it. Don't spoil. Don't spoil. I've had so many things spoiled already just by like news outlets throwing up headlines. Like, headlines spoil so much, and it sucks. They know what they're doing. They know they're spoiling crap. It sucks. It's like, how crappy are you? You got a real estate license. Wow. I mean, to be fair, I guess we bought a house during COVID, so I need to dab my nose. I know. I hate when people do it too, but usually, like, you would hope a news outlet would hold out for it, but nope. News outlets are terrible about that. Like, once that 2-week spoiler thing is up, they just let it rip everywhere. It's terrible. It's like, well, thanks, guys. Like, you couldn't just save it for in the article. You have to do it on the actual headline. That's just bad form, man. These have a little thing at the bottom. Sometimes. For those that don't know that are my patrons, last week I put up a walkthrough for that sculpt that I told you I would. So if you're interested in that, that is up on Patreon. You can see how I made that sculpt, or the custom figure I did for my friend. Where does that one string go? Okay. Yeah, there we go. And then to further get rid of the creepy factor when I'm drawing birds like this, I add some feathers that are kind of around the fingers, because if you don't, it just, like I said, it gets kind of weird. So I make sure to add those in. Oh my god. Okay, Journey June is coming up. There's 9 days until June. If anyone here wants to join Journey June, you should look into it now and get ready. Because joining this challenge late is like not an option. You're gonna be pretty upset if you join it late. So I didn't go live on my Twitch today. I decided to want to see a movie again. Oh, I'm glad you did. Just because sometimes, you know, it's better to just relax. I mean, streaming's nice and everything, but, you know, rest is also nice. Well, thank you, EB. That's funny, it answers you, Serenity. I should also have it be Patreon. Sorry about that. The actual call to action or whatever. Gotta draw this swan's fat ass. Does Swan have a tail? It's just, yeah, kind of. It's just a bunch of... I don't think it would show, really. So instead, we're going to... some of its clothes. Yes, clothes. I'm gonna probably actually resize this at some point here. Or maybe I can put some things around it. What do I want to put? Let's put a jug. Or maybe a tambourine. Tambourine would be cute. Tambourine from memory. You're right. Actually, I like the idea of a drum better. Let's do a drum. Uh-oh. Then you better get a head start on it, Cavendish. You got a week. Start those first ones now. You could do it now. No, Serenity, no. Because, I mean, I'd want somebody else to be able to just come in and be like, oh, Patreon, what? And be able to type it in. So, no, that is not on you. In fact, I'm going to go change it real quick because you were completely right. I just never foresaw somebody else doing it for me, which I am extremely grateful that you are. It's just, I don't know, for some reason I hadn't foreseen the mods, I guess, coming in. So, oh my god, I have too many fucking windows. Yeah, I'm not just whatever. So, does anybody here not know what Journey June is? What is he doing? Moobot. Custom commands. Pat. Patreon. Save. Alright. I just want to make sure. Patreon. Does it work now? Hey, it works now. Okay. So now we're good. Okay. I've been really enjoying mowing the lawn lately. I don't want to say that's my new obsession, but I really enjoy mowing the lawn. Like, I really like it. That probably sounds crazy, but I do. We have this nice electric mower that honestly, it feels like a giant toy. It's really light and it's electric, so it has a little battery you just pop in. It's so easy to use, and it mows the lawn just perfectly. Like, I love it. But it feels like one of those push popper vacuums for kids. That's what it feels like. Kind of looks like that too. It actually looks like a Gundam or something. I'll show you. Heart. You don't have one to mow. I would like to fill our backyard with things. Like how cute is this? This is our mower. It has little lights and it's, I don't know. I love it. It looks super Japanese or something. Like, it looks like a Gundam. But anyway, I have this whole idea for the backyard, but that's going to take a lot of time, and I have to finish what I have first, like work-wise, and then I can dig into that. But we have this nice big yard, and I want to put in like a sitting area, and what really sucks is, I'll draw it here. Like, here's our yard, right? This is the house. Okay. But we have this nice little, like, concrete patio here. It's cracked to shit. We really need to get it, like, torn up and replaced. It's horrible. It's all foundation cracking. We have stairs here that come out of this part of the house. We have a door here that comes out of this part of the house. But we have all this, and right now we have a gajillion trees that are lining the yard right now. And we want to tear all these out because each one is like 4 feet in diameter, which it would give us so much more space. And plus there are spider webs in every single one of these, and it's horrifying. And the dogs keep trying to go in between them because there's a fence here, right? So we just gotta tear them all out. So that's a whole thing. But I really want, like, this goes over more actually. This I want to make the dog area for the dogs to go potty, and then the rest of the yard I want it to be really nice. So I wanted to extend like a lattice wall here, and then put in like, you know, a little table and some chairs and stuff, and then over here do like a garden, like a raised garden, you know. Anyway, so I'd have a nice little drawing area here and whatever. Anyway. I would like to. Oh, you put all your plants there. Yes. That's really nice that you can just put your plants on that. Honestly, I was gonna have these holding this, but this looks kind of weird. So I might actually just put, because I don't know, I guess if the legs went out and came back in, but maybe instead I just put the legs kind of around it so it can still go on it, but not as overtly. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So now it just doesn't look as short or weird. Give it some fringe. More fringe. More fringe. But one of our neighbors was so confused by our lawnmower. He's got to be a boomer. Like, he's pretty much in his 60s maybe, and he was looking at it and he said, "What the hell is that?" We're like, "It's our lawnmower." And he's like, "What kind of lawnmower?" We were like, "Oh, it's electric." And they're like, "Oh, wow, that looks crazy." I was like, "I know, but it's cool." I don't know. I really like our lawnmower. Hi, K-Hours. I am drawing a swan playing an Ektara, which is like an Indian instrument, like East Indian. But we're gonna be toning this in a second. I'm only on for another hour and a half about, so a little under an hour and a half, I think. How you doing, Hours? You know, I might just have the legs stick out. I kind of like the idea of it just sticking out. He's already kind of placing it in his lap, so this one can stick out. Can't wait to start living at home. So my boyfriend and I are saving right now, so I can't wait. Have my own space for creating. It is pretty magical. And I don't want to be that guy, but if you don't have kids, then you have even more space. Because we have a whole room that's a stream room. We have a whole nother room that's for painting. We have our living room is actually our studio. So both of our computer rigs are in there. And then we have another room that's just meant for gaming and movies. And it's awesome. And then our basement is basically our weight room and everything. So it's pretty nice. We're very lucky. But yeah, the only problem with the house that still kind of eats at me, other than the fact it's been absolutely neglected, it's for the past decade, not by us, by the previous owners, is we're in the middle of a bunch of other houses that are a little bit higher than us, so they can all see down into our backyard, which is part of the reason I want to put up like a privacy lattice. There's this configuration where if I put it just on one side of the backyard, then if I put all the other stuff on the other side, I'm covered. But for the most part, all these houses can see down into our backyard, and that drives me nuts because I'm one of those people who really likes privacy in terms of my backyard. In terms of internet and whatever and Big Brother and stuff like that, it's like that I don't care about. Because I feel like in this day and age you can't fight that shit. But in terms of my backyard, it would be nice if I had more control over that, but you know. Okay. Serenity, I just want to reiterate how nice it is to have you here. I missed you. You were a great mod and a lovely friend. Put so many out there with the bird feeder between them. Well, at least you have your bird feeder out. I put my bird feeder out, and then the state of Illinois told us to bring in all of our bird feeders because, like, apparently the avian flu is raging right now or something, so we can't put them back out until June. So that sucks. But, is what it is, I guess. Okay, so there's a leg. No. Let's see. See, it looks weird when they don't have... Their legs are just so silly. Oh, I'm gonna put some booties on this guy. Because sometimes you need more than this. Just webbed feet is blah. He's a bard, for God's sakes. He would be a little bit flashy. Let's give him some boots. Some boots! Oh yeah. Hey. Alright, I can finally send it after what, 3 years? Alright. You got it. Might have to wait until next payday though, because sending that's gonna be like 20 or 30 bucks. So I think I'm gonna have to gauge this a little bit. But is your mail getting to your house now? Is that why? A 3.5. That sounds about right. We're gonna blame COVID. Because, I mean, you didn't want to go to the place to pick it up, which is fair. It just sucks because I hope the VAT thing doesn't make it so you can't get it as easily. The VAT situation has been kind of crappy. Oh, good. Okay. Then I will try to send it in the next week. Don't think too hard about this. Do I want to add anything else? Maybe a rug he's sitting on. So this original, like all the others, is purchasable. But in this case, if nobody buys this one during the stream, it's going to go to one of my Dandikin. So it's either you buy it on the stream or it doesn't get put on my website. I know usually I say, oh yeah, I'll put it on my website after this, but not in this case. I need to give it to one of my Dandikin, which are people on my Patreon who get originals every month. And right now that tier is full, but if ever somebody leaves it, I usually do a post or, just an update to say, hey, there's a Dandikin spot open. Right, I'm about ready to color it. Let me take a progress shot of it. Now I need to check if there's anybody on my Dandikin one, if they get color or if they get toned. Oh. Does anybody have anything coming up in the next week that's gonna be cool? This could be Shelly. could technically put this on there. Actually, I might sell this one. It looks like nobody on here needs a 4x6. Well, yeah. Let's go with what I said, though. I'm gonna probably give it to this one person then for their Dandikin. Shit, I have none of my markers. Are you kidding me? Okay. June 8th, I need to go to my annual hospital appointment for the MS cohort study. What's that entail, if you don't mind me asking? That sounds important. Cohort. Why cohort? I think I figured out my hero for Journey June yesterday too. Hold on. I'll draw him for you in a sec. Yay, thank you, Gabe. My stupid markers. Yeah, isn't it a cute lawnmower? Oh my god, I love it. A few tests like the pass it test. Math, time, pressure, fine motor skills. Oh. Well, it's nice of you to give them, you know, some of the stats they need for it. That's probably super helpful. Oh yeah. Do you have a leaf blower? That would help with it, I would think. Okay, so my little guy, he is... I don't have a good piece of paper for this, do I? Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Here's a white piece of paper. I can do this. Yeah, get a leaf blower. That'll help a ton. Alright, we'll do it on this. So my little guy is my hero, rather. I've only drawn him once, so give me a chance here to kind of figure out. This is a really rough sketch of him, but for the most part, for my Journey June story, still have to figure out if I want this belt in the front or not, but he has a belt. I might change it though. But he is a little candle man, and my story will revolve around candle folk. So, And I have this weird obsession with my main characters having backpacks and stuff. So he's probably going to have a backpack. But the cool thing about having candle people is their hair is the wax. So it's super fun. And you can have tall people, like having a tall person with their wax on the side. It could be their hair or it could be their arms. For him, his little candle drips on the side are his arms. So on the side, if you're seeing him like this, like that's what his arm looks like on the side. Like this. So he's cute. And he's got a little butt. I'm giving him a little butt. He's got some cake on the back there. So he's got this little belt or something. I just know I want it to be about a little candle people. So he looks like that. And then, like I said, taller people. Like if I had a taller lady candle or something. You know, she could look like this and have her wax like be her arms, but also her hair. Right? It's cute. I thought this, I was like, oh my god. Because if you think about it, I mean, there was this, I don't know how many of you remember this, probably no one, but if you do, mad props. There was a Guardian that I did in April of, where is it? April 2019. Here we go. I will link it. It was called The Wickle, and it was a little candle person. And so I have stolen now from myself many times, but this one is going to be pretty cute. So I don't know. I really like this idea of candle people. Because I have a thing for candles. A lot of you know that. But like in their wicks can be another part of their personality. Remember, every part of a character design can be part of, you know, their personality. So, I mean, how cute, right? How freaking cute. So, I am into it. I don't know. So for now, I'm just calling him Wickle. He's a little guy, a little porker. You thought of the yeast spirit, but the yeast spirit looks totally different. Like the yeast spirit's a little bag. It's literally a bag. Like I went full of Pokemon with it, where I feel like when Pokemon ran out of ideas, like bless my heart, the yeast spirit. I made that work though. Like that Guardian is still one of my favorites because of its story. I really liked its story. It was honestly pretty fun. But anyway, there's a Wickle man. Wickle. A Wickle. Anyway, so I'm kind of pumped for that. So that's my Journey June hero. And that's as far as I'm really going to go, other than kind of developing their folk, like the candle folk. Because for Journey June, you're not supposed to think of a story yet. The story is born in the journey. Which is, I think, the most fun part about it. Gabe's gonna do it too, so he says, but I don't know if he's developed a character yet. He has an idea. He told me about it. It's a good idea. But like I said, I don't know if he's gonna do it or not, or... So I don't want to out his idea yet. just in case. Oh no, I did a yeast spirit animation. You're right. I think I posted it on Instagram. You are correct. The yeasty. I'm trying to remember where I put it though. I don't know if I'm gonna find it. I'd have to go through my Instagram. And there might be a hot minute of me doing that. But yeah, I know I posted to Instagram at some point. You got a lot going on in June? I understand. I usually tell people, though, like, if you're gonna do it, just take like a half an hour at most, half an hour every day to do that day's prompt. But yeah, if, I guess if you're really, really busy and you're preoccupied, it might be a lot. But you're not actually drawing for that one. It's just thumbnails. We don't want anybody to make like actual illustrations. You're not supposed to. So do not do that. It's just thumbnails. Like for those who haven't seen what Journey June entries look like, I will post one in a second here so you can see it. Because it's important you know that it's not an illustration challenge. Like last year I actually did the whole thing digitally, but the other 3 years, maybe 4 years? I forget if this is the 5th year. Yeah, so last year I did digital. The 4 years before that I did it all traditional. So you can see here, if it'll load, how absolutely like rough these are. This is how rough we want them. Like it's basically just a really shoddy storyboard. But the point of that is that you get the story down. That's the most important thing. And then like you know, it's a rough draft, so you've got the whole story down, and then later on you can go back and fine-tune things, and once you've got the version of the story you like, then you can do final versions of, you know, the pieces. Because right now it'd be like if a writer wrote a story and then published their first draft. Like, that doesn't happen. You're not supposed to do that. You know? So we highly suggest you just do rough sketches. And usually I use a post-it note for the actual template, because that way I don't have to redraw it a million times, and I can just trace the post-it note, and that's a perfect size too. But if you follow the Journey June account, I'll be giving everybody like tips and stuff like that throughout the month. And then I think on Wednesday I'm gonna do a live Q&A on the Journey June account. So if anybody wants more information, that'll be what you want to tune into. Yeah, basically Cavendish, yeah. It's just publishing it on your first go. It's like no one does that that's not how it works. So why would you draw it that way? You know, you don't even know the story. And I think some people come into this thinking it's like Misadventure May, which Misadventure May was actually the reason we started doing Journey June, because we thought that Misadventure May was like how we're doing Journey June. And we found out it wasn't. And then we were like, well, let's just make a challenge where that's what you do. You have the hero's journey and you actually go through a whole story. So by the end of the month, you have a story. So it's nice because I guess if you wanted to, you could use Misadventure May as like your kind of spawn point for the story. But it might be too much world building. We really don't want you to do too much for Journey June. We want you to kind of figure it out along the way. But, I mean, you could use Misadventure May and then go right into Journey June. Which maybe I should contact those people and we can kind of cross whatever. But anyway. But yeah, you don't want to publish your first draft. So keep it rough. Which also is a lot more stress off you, you know? Because you're not worried about how good it looks. You shouldn't be. That's not the point. The point is, it's a lot of thinking. That's the real problem. That's the time-consuming part. The nice thing is you can think about things wherever you are. The crappy thing is that you know, at some point you have to sit down and kind of draw it out for that day's prompt. But like if you're at work and you're at, you know, a meeting or something, it's kind of boring and you can tune out, you know, you could be thinking of your Journey June story then. Like the nice thing is I feel like it's a challenge that really preps you for freelance life because it shows you how you should manage your time. Where a lot of, you know, challenges I don't think do that. This one really puts it into perspective, especially from a comic standpoint. So if you're ever going to want to do like comics, knowing how to manage your time, create a buffer, all that sort of stuff is crucial to having a comic, like a webcomic or working in comics, anything like that. And Gabe gives usually 2 workshops during the month about, you know, if you're going to turn this into a comic and, you know, how to go about composing shots and things like that. Like he goes over some really nice stuff. But otherwise. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna put a candle somewhere in back. I've been doing this lighting like there's a candle in the back, so maybe I should. I'll just put a really tall one right here. Oh, what do you mean, Cavendish? Like it's a longer version of a comic? Like what's the part that makes you break? And you can always have a hybrid too. Sometimes you can have a hybrid of like a children's book / comic. And sometimes you can have a comic that kind of breaks into the children's book area because you can have like a 1-page illustration that has a couple panels that are kind of ghosted onto it. A lot of French comics do that. And Gabe actually was the first one to introduce me to this, but it's a really neat way of doing it because then it ends up more like a splash page that's got a couple panels on it, which can sometimes be a nice break in the image, but you can do that. Sometimes there's the reverse where, you can do more panels over an image, if you're doing this hybrid thing. But anyway, lay down a single page in a way that flows and makes sense. I short circuit. Yeah, and that's something that takes years to figure out. And that's why Gabe usually really stresses during the challenge not to worry about layout, and just to worry about the squares. It's more important that you get all the squares down than to worry, should this be a triangle shape? That's not as important by any means. So, see, I like that, Serenity. A lot of people have been starting to do that more, and you totally should. Like, if that's how you feel it should be, do it. Totally go for it. Regardless, anything that you do needs a storyboard, whether it's illustrated, animated, comic, anything. So that's why the Journey June thing is nice, because it's squares. You're starting off with the squares. Hi, Twinkle Toe. The tests were kind of inconclusive for the most part. What's weird is I switched doctors and they ended up being able to tell me that I have PCOS. And that's why I originally thought I had. So they got me on some meds, and I've already lost 2 pounds just from starting the meds, which is amazing. So now I have hope that this is really going to help. Because, yeah, I have PCOS. Which is a lady thing. But I'm happy because I have hope now. But, yeah, I mean, the test, it's so weird because they did tons of blood tests. I even went in and had an EGD where they knock me out with anesthesia and they go into your throat, touch your stomach, go into your stomach, take pictures of your stomach, take chunks from your stomach and get those biopsied to see if I had celiac or anything like that. I don't have anything else. Like, so I have 2 things going on. One is PCOS. The other is like some sort of food sensitivities / intolerances, allergies, whatever you want to call them. So they're separate. I just have to work with that side of it now, which is crazy. When you're losing your hair, that's interesting. It's funny because you lose your hair up here, but you grow hair like around here because your testosterone is high and your progesterone is like lower. So you're all over the place. So you're losing hair, you're growing hair. Yeah, it's got tons of stuff. So it was weird though, because by the 3rd doctor, she was like, I don't know why your other 2 doctors didn't tell you, but it's very apparent to me you have PCOS. And I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. So it's important to also go to lady doctors, like in terms of like gynecologists, not just like female doctors, but like female health doctors. If you're, wondering if it's a female health related disease. So illness, whatever you want to have it. Oh, they were doing the hormone test. Yeah. I had like 2 of those done. One was through Everlywell, and then the other one was done at the lab. So, I mean, first of all, if you have a period, you're in good standing. I hadn't had a period for like 3 years. So, that's like a telltale sign you have it. And I knew that, but I don't know. I thought it could have been something else, but no, I was right. It's one of those things like, am I glad I'm right? I don't know. But yeah, they got me on this one thing that kind of helps out with insulin stuff, and because of that, my body's already regulating my sleep. My sleep is already better. Everything just feels better. So I'm very happy about that. And it's nothing I could have avoided either. For the most part, it's genetics, and it just happens sometimes. has nothing to do with like what I am or who, anything like that. They don't even know what really causes it either. That's the other crappy thing. Oh, you lost your hair because of COVID? Shit. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad too. Did you lose your sense of taste too? That whole thing? Wow. COVID hair. I didn't know that was one of them. I know about the losing your, was it sense of smell and taste? I didn't know the hair thing was one of them. Whoa. Do they have anything to help with that yet, or? Like, is it gonna grow back? Wow, coffee. Oh no, Twinkle Toe. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, rotten eggs though. That's crazy. That sucks. I am so sorry. What a bummer, dude. Yeah, because coffee's pretty strong. Dermatologist wanted to do injections in my head, and I said no. My hair loss stopped after 2 or 3 months. Oh, good. I'm glad that stopped. That's nice. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh no. Well, I'm glad it had like a point where it stopped. That would suck if it just kept going. Like if it was like a forever thing, like all of a sudden you have alopecia or something from it. That would be, oh my god. Damn you, COVID. How about your taste and smell? Has that come back? Or is that still the MIA? Oh yeah, definitely was annoying. I feel you. The most annoying thing about all that for me, trying to figure it out, was just that manifested hope that you have, that you carry with you. You're like, oh man, maybe this test will tell me. And it's like, no, that test didn't tell you. Like, I didn't even mind going in and taking the tests for all the crap that I was trying to figure out. It was more the whole hope that went with it, the false hope feel. That's what sucked. Like, trying to figure out what you have is like one of the most frustrating things. Oh, I'm so glad you got those back, though. That's good. I know some people who still don't have them back. It's like, gosh, that sucks. It's one nasty sickness, man. Oh, really? A non-saline? That's good. I'll tell them that. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that yet. My dad used to use saline nose spray. It seemed crazy to me. I don't even know if it actually helped him. But he was very, loyal to it. He thought it basically cured everything. No, there's a jumping spider. Buddy, you shouldn't be here. I'm gonna have to take him outside. Not now, obviously, but later. You stay there. I like jumpers, they're cute. No, don't be sorry. That's important stuff. Don't be sorry at all. I mean, I'm sure people don't want to hear about my health stuff either. I usually don't talk about health stuff, so this is very strange for me to even be talking about my health stuff. I'm not used to sharing my personal life, like, at all. Not in this way. Like, the most I share is just kind of what we're going through from a job standpoint, because I feel like typically that kind of thing can help people knowing the state of the business and all that crap. But when it comes to actually talking about my health, I'm really bad about that. I don't know how much people actually are interested in that, and, like, you know, especially if it's women's health stuff. I feel like some people are like, ugh, which is fine. I get that some people might not want to know about that, and that's totally fine. I have trouble knowing what's too much information. Like, am I, you know, is that gross? Am I telling too much? I don't know. But the other part of it is that I figure if I can help somebody else figure out if they've got something, that seems important. So, I don't know. As a streamer and somebody who has people watch them, I feel kind of responsible for shedding light on some things. At least things I recognize and know firsthand, which now is this illness, or I don't even know what you call it. I guess it's an illness. It's a disorder. There we go. See, I'm not even used to what you call these things. It's a disorder. I have a disorder. So, like I said, as long as, you know, if I can help somebody, that's what I care about. But I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, and maybe I'm oversharing without realizing it, because I'm not used to this sort of thing, you know. Yeah, I think I'm annoying people. I don't, you know, and I don't want to define myself by having this either. Like, I'm not going to put it on a profile or something. You know, I don't think, I don't know, it's the same reason I wouldn't, like, if I were religious or something, I wouldn't put that on social media or anything like that. I feel weird sharing those sorts of things. It's like, you know, I don't know, it just doesn't seem pertinent. But that might just be because my mind is geared to think that the internet is for work for me. So it's like I'm always maintaining this somewhat professional outlook of it, of what it means, you know. So, you know, that's a whole different thing. I mean, if you're somebody who uses the internet for your personal stuff, that's totally fine. That's what you use it for. But it's like, it's my workplace, so it seems like it'd be the equivalent of somebody going into their workplace and being like, I have PCOS, and it's like, what? Oh my god, what just happened? So it's, I don't know. I keep a lid on it, unless someone asks. I try to do that with most things. Like, nowadays, I try not to give my opinion on something unless A, they're at my stream, or B, they ask me directly. It's for cat pictures. Yeah, see? Do I need to take the pills the rest of my life? Apparently, yeah. Like, it's not something that's curable, only, like, treatable. So, I guess. I don't know. It sounds like it. Like, so I remember asking the doctor, I was like, so I just have this now? And she's like, yep. And I'm like, forever? And she's like, basically. And I was like, okay. I don't know. I guess. I'm new to this whole thing. Oh, thank you, EB. I've heard of Hashimoto's. That sucks. That is incredibly difficult. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so the internet is cafe for cat pictures. Exactly. That, and like for me it's work. Like it feels like every time I go on my phone I'm like going back to work, you know. It's interesting. I also feel like you can't escape the internet. I've talked about that before. That gets dark when I get on that rant, so I won't go there, but don't do personal private posts on my social media. Yeah, and I can't even, like, every time I almost complain online, I'm like, nope, you know what's gonna happen if you do that, don't do that. Like, every time I complain, some stranger just wants to fight me, especially on Twitter. It's mainly Twitter, so I don't even put up anything. Like, the other day I was gonna put up this thing about how I'm not too much of a fan of Breath of the Wild, and I really wish that the next gen Zelda had looked like this Unreal Engine Lake Hylia that somebody had done. It's fucking gorgeous, and it looks like absolutely realistic, and I was so sad that's not the route they went, because I am not a fan of Breath of the Wild, and that is a very unpopular opinion. Everybody's crazy about Breath of the Wild, so it's like, if you don't agree with, you know, that, and even if it's your opinion, you're wrong, you know. So, anyway, I thought about sending that, and I was like, nope, you know, my opinion being out there for this doesn't matter as much as the amount of hurt I'm gonna feel getting some rando giving me anxiety, so I'm not gonna do that. Not worth it. Thank you, Twinkle Toe. Yeah, somewhat peace of mind. I'm on my way to figuring it out. For this one, EB, probably like $50. This one's a 4x6, so it's not quite a 5x7, but it fits in a 4x6 frame. Whoever suggested the Swan, thank you. This one was actually really fun. I really like the Swan idea. How dare you not like the thing I like? Isn't that Twitter in a nutshell, though? Let's be honest. That's all it's about. It's totally a blessing and a curse, yeah. I don't know, I feel like depending on which social media it is too, it's gonna have a different response too. Like the people on Instagram might be a little less aggressive and a little more like, oh yeah, I could see that. Then Twitter, it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that because I want that and I want it this way and blah, blah. Like Twitter, man, oh god, every time I go on there, it's just my whole wall is people complaining about the comics industry, the animation industry, the game industry. Everything is like imploding. And I don't know if that's just my Instagram feed or if it's like everybody's is just blowing up and imploding. Like, I don't know. I don't think Gabe's is like that. I think Gabe's is a little bit more happy, but somehow mine turned into everything is burning all the time. Thank you, Barba. Welcome. I don't know if you've been here the whole time or not, but thank you. That's very sweet of you. Yeah, TikTok's funny. They just say things in the comments like they don't even know what they're talking about. It's hilarious. Welcome to the Internet by Bo. Yeah, that's a good song. And every time I see the title of that song, I think of that one image that was like one of the original memes where it's this lady who's on this skateboard or something. It says, "Welcome to the Internet," and it's silly. I don't know. Everything's crazy. It's the Internet. I was actually reading that there's this revolution starting about, like the revolution of dumb phones. People are starting to buy dumb phones again, which are the opposite of smartphones, obviously. They're, like Nokias and things that they don't have any smartphone features. And people are buying those again just to have simplicity in their life. And Gabe had talked about doing that like 2 years ago. He wanted to get like an old... I think he wanted the one that's got the pull-out keyboard. I forget which one's that. I never had even a fancy dumb phone. I had a dumb phone that couldn't do anything. It really couldn't. But he wanted one of those. It's like, I wonder how different things would be. Back to simpler times where phones were just cameras and phones, and the camera was bad. One of those things. That's good, Cavendish. Not all of the time, just the beginning of the highlight? Oh, like when you got here? I successfully refused to have a TikTok. Good for you, man. Yeah, phone and text, basically. Yeah, or those really crappy little phone games, like Snake. Things like that. It's funny because when I was first in the game industry and I was working on mobile phones, when I first got into it, I was making games for BlackBerry, which was funny because the resolution for the games on the BlackBerry, I was making things at like 200 by 300. Like one of my first games was a crappy little 3D brick breaker game. It was really fun, honestly, but the smallest size was like 300 by 200. And the biggest size was like 1024 by 768. I think something in there. Oh, and that was such a pain in the ass because that was my source file. And then when iPad and Retina screens came out, it went up to like 2048. And so I had to scale up all my graphics, but then like kind of polish them so they weren't exactly pixelated, because we never foresaw it getting bigger than that, right? But then Retinas came out and it was like, oh my god. It was so funny. And I feel very old right now because I was making games before there were Retina screens. Ooh. I mean, granted, I was like 25, but still. Oh boy. Time really does go fast, and it doesn't hit you until you're 30, and then you're like, oh my god, whoops. It's just, that's what it feels like. You're 30, and then it's, oh my god, whoops. There went the time. Oh. Do this. Oh, that's perfect, Serenity. Gabe would be jealous of you. So yeah, I'm going to give this to one of my Dandikin if nobody wants it. So if you do want this one, let me know. It's probably $50, and that includes $5 shipping. So because for originals, I actually send them in non-envelopes. I send them in these hard mailers. So I don't want originals to get hurt. If it's a print, I can always resend it, but originals, ain't no resending an original. Oh yeah, I have to go soon. Gabe's gotta go to work. I'm gonna probably do some gold bits on this at some point too. Oh, nice. They never ever worked. Oh no! How did they get in a magazine if they didn't work? I don't understand. Cavendish. What? Oh my god. That's hilarious. Whoa. Data, data, data. Data, data, data. So even if you don't want to join in on Journey June this year, but you think you might next year, you might want to just kind of watch it happen from the rafters. Because there are some stories that like come into being that are really, really cool. Every year there's at least like 50 new stories that are being written. And it's so cool to follow these people, figure out their stories, you know, as you're reading it. I think that's very exciting. I like organic storytelling. I think it's so cool. So, you know, if nothing else, you can read the stories as they happen. So if you don't have time to participate, totally cool. Just support the people that are. Because they're going through a roller coaster of emotions like the entire month. Like, I'm not sure about this, but maybe I am, but I don't know. Especially the people posting, you know, there's a lot that's going through their brain. Like, they might be scared to post, but they do it anyway, and, you know, I try to encourage, but, I mean, of course I have to. I'm running the thing, so. It's kind of a given. But it's nice to have other people encouraging, cheering you on. It is a very hard challenge. It's a lot of thinking. But it's honestly so rewarding. It's stupid how rewarding it is. outline a lot more of this. Oh, Barba, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy my work. For anybody that's new here, I'm basically Cloverkin everywhere online, and if you enjoy my work and you want more of it, please check out my Patreon, because my Patreon is honestly my only income. Other than my shop, but my shop maybe sells one thing a week. Like, it's not very dependable, if I'm at all honest. So, my Patreon is the one thing that I'm like, please do well. Do well. So I try to push that. And I try to make it so everybody gets something on it. And there's a $3 tier, $4, $6, and then other ones too. And you get multi-tier and all this stuff, but I do, but as things expire, I'm not renewing them basically. And for my big ticket items like my pet and armors, I am not, like, the listing's up, but I redirect people to my website because Etsy takes about $50 from that every time I sell one. That's so much. Like, that's not even the actual fees either. That's just like, it's stupid. So I tell people go to my website and buy them, which probably looks kind of shady, and it's like, whatever. I guess I'm fine with that. But I don't know, depending on how much I'm not getting orders, I might have to go back to Etsy and just take the $50 hit every time. Which sucks, because then eventually I'll probably raise the price so that I make that back, and then the customer ends up paying for the increase that Etsy did, which sucks. So, but I was making more sales from Etsy. It just sucks that they take so much money. Like, it's stupid how much they take. So yeah, I still have the site, but I really try to direct people to my website. Please excuse my little man. He enjoys barking at people. It's a huge chunk, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I feel it every time, too. Sucks. Alright, so I have to go soon. A couple minutes. We'll say 5 more minutes. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Any questions? Anything like that? But yeah, even on Etsy, I'd only sell one thing a week. Really. Like, you'd be surprised how much artists don't sell. There's a viral video going around where this girl's talking about, you know, you'd be surprised how much your favorite artists online make, and they're only making like 20 or 30K a year. That is 100% true. Like 100% true. Gabe and I, it's only about that much. Like, I think last year I only made like 20K. So it's getting to the point too where, you know, thanks to COVID, all of our savings are gone, so we gotta start getting other jobs. Like, we literally can't keep this up. You know, because we usually live very frugally, and that's not even saving our butts anymore. So that's just what it is. No, I don't think so, Cavendish. I think they're going to be about the same prompts. There's just that one change, I think 2 or 3 years ago. But no, they're basically the same. Oh my God, Chancho, stop barking, honey. Sometimes I'm drawing the gold part and I can't even see what I'm drawing. German artist friends have moved from Patreon and Etsy to Coffee. I've got my Coffee set up to do monthly subscribers, and I haven't pushed people there yet, but it's the same thing though. They all take something, you know? And honestly, I'm just used to Patreon at this point, and Coffee is just honestly, like, I've set mine up there just so if somebody has something really against Patreon, they can just go over and do that one instead. You know, because I know some people are really against it, and that's totally fine, whatever floats your boat. But I have Coffee, and I have this other one that's set up through Twitter. It's called Review. Like, if you do get revue.com, you hook it up to your Twitter. And if you look at my Twitter right now, there's a join the newsletter, but it also has a Patreon like setup too. So I technically have 3 places you could be a patron. But yeah, Coffee is one if you're somebody who doesn't like how Patreon does things. They are putting out a big update this week, or at least they said it was this week, for some of the changes they're making due to the census they had sent out. So we'll see how that goes. See if anything's better or worse or whatever. I've just been on Patreon so long now, it's okay. I don't have a problem with them. Not yet, anyway. But like I said, everybody takes a cut. So no matter who you're using, it's just find somebody who you can, you know, they take a cut and you can live with it. But yeah, if you look at my Coffee, it's set up to be like Patreon. Like, you can get my $3 tier on there if you want to. But the problem isn't, from my standpoint, the actual platform. It's just getting people to want to give you monthly money. Like, a lot of people don't like subscriptions unless it's for like TV or, you know, stuff like that. Like, giving an artist money monthly, I feel like, is something very specific. Like, you have to offer someone something very specific that they really want. So it's a very specific type of person, I think, that looks into that. Serenity, write me a note about your package, would you? Like on Instagram? Because I may actually forget. I don't want to forget. Well, that's not true though, Serenity. That's just your self-doubt talking. You do. You have stuff. Oh, thank you, Cavendish. It's nice that it's kind of there sometimes and not other times. Alright, well, if we don't have anything else, real quick. So I'm thinking Wednesday will be the Journey June meeting, like Q&A. So I still haven't announced it on the account yet, but looking at the days that people picked, or actually it was on the weekend. Saturday then. Probably be Saturday. Since I think people wanted the weekend. Saturday. Either way, follow the Journey June account to know. But I'll be doing a live Q&A about that. And we'll talk about heroes, how to make your hero, all that kind of thing. Because there is around 1 week left. And my patrons, I'm going to try to get your stuff out hopefully Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. I'm hoping that's gonna work out alright. So, oof. And then anybody waiting on a pet portrait right now, I am knee deep in it, so I'm working on it. I am working on it. And yeah, last chance for this. If anybody wants this, message me now, or else I gotta send it to one of my Dandikin. But outline this outer bit, I think. Hi, Tutor. No, and that's good, Cavendish. That's a good way to go about it. Yeah, and that's me. That's me right now. I've got 8 or 9 people that I do these originals for every month. And I've been behind on a few of them for a while. So I'm trying real hard to catch up. But yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right. 6 months behind. That's fine though. 6 months to a year, I think, is pretty normal for if the commission's like 5x7 or bigger. I think that's more than normal. Gabe is behind on 1 commission for somebody, and you know who you are in here. And the poor guy is doing his damnedest, but it's life. That's just what happens. I mean, it's original art. You're manifesting something from magic. Like, it feels like it, so oh my god. Anyway, all right. I don't have time to raid somebody because I would have to sit there and talk in their chat, and I'd feel rude just ducking out. So instead of raiding, we're just gonna go. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. I'm on here. Don't forget Journey June is coming. If you are thinking about it, or you know somebody who would be interested in it, it's a storytelling challenge, but it's artistically based. It's about the hero's journey, so if you have somebody who really likes to or wants to write stories, this would be perfect for them. Tell them now, because if you tell them June 1st or something, they're already late to it, and being late to this challenge is so hard. It's so difficult to catch up. So let them know. Otherwise, find me online as Cloverkin if you have any questions about that or anything else. And I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank you so much for joining me. It needs a little bit of tidying up, but for the most part, it is a Swan playing an Ektara, which is an Indian instrument. So thank you guys for being here. Have a good week, okay? I'll see you next week.